the dog to do today is we're teaching them to press with their paw. It's quite an easy thing to teach, I think, and it has 5 very straightforward, very simple steps.
Hey, no, no, no. Hey, no, no, no. Hey, no, no, no. Hey, no.
So for today's tutorial, we're going to teach your dog to push with their paw. This is one of 5 super skills that we teach for our SuperDogs program for the foundations of teaching assistance dog behaviour. And this is quite a simple super skill as far as super skills go. So as long as you follow the instructions carefully, I don't think you should have any problems. What we're going to do is we're going to use a 5-step method using a bow. The reason we're going to use a bow is because if we just used a target on the floor or a bit of masking tape or a post-it or something like this, it's not very clear when the dog's got it right and when they've got it wrong. If you use something that doesn't have any sort of effect, any sort of sound effect, then what can happen is you can end up reinforcing the dog when they do it really tentatively, but also when they do it really, really hard. It can be a bit confusing. The brilliant thing about a bell is that there's none of that confusion when it comes to the power that the dog hits the bell with or anything like that. Either the dog hits the bell and makes the bing, or they don't. So step 1, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the bell, we're going to put some treats underneath the bell, we're going to show the dog that we do this, and then as soon as the dog attempts to get the treat with his paws, and touches the top of the bell, we're going to click with our clicker and we're going to treat him with the treats that are underneath the bell. Now the dog will probably be scratching and pushing to try and move the target away, so I want you to try and be early with your marker so that your marker happens as soon as your dog's paw makes contact with the target. Step 2 is to continue putting the food underneath, but this time, instead of moving the target so that the dog can get the food, you're going to mark and you're going to feed with your hand. This difference is important because it's changing the expectation of the dog, because what we're doing is we're changing his expectation so that the food is coming from here instead of underneath the bell, and that usually changes the way the dog delivers that paw hit. So the food goes down, the bell's going to go on top of it, and I'm going to make sure I've got another bit of food ready to give to my dog. Okay? Good boy. What is taking that food out from underneath the target, waiting for the dog to touch the target, and then feeding with our hand. Good boy. Step 4, we're going to start moving the bell around. This creates a little bit more speed, a little bit more power, and so there's a bit more pressure and motivation to hit that bell. Step 5, as usual, is to add a cue. I'm going to put the bell down, I'm going to say the word, press, I'm then going to point at the bell to show him what I want him to press. Then I'll mark and reward him if he gets it right. Press. Yes. So what we'll move on to next is using different objects in different places so that he begins to generalise what he needs to do, so that he understands that when I say press, I'm not just talking about the bell, I'm talking about him.